Shh. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event of the evening, the final race in the round of 8. We are here for the Global 250 at Martinsville Speedway on NASCAR Heat 5. It is the second to last race in the 2021 NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series season. Right now, it is the pole sitter, Jackson Stotts, in the 20 truck leading the way. Oh, never mind, problems. We were watching it before we began the broadcast, and the 20 truck was having serious connection issues, and you could see his truck bouncing around all over the track throughout stage 1 here, and he has actually just pulled off the racetrack with an engine failure, we call it, in the world of sim racing here, and he is done for the day. This is going to give the lead over to Landshark. There you see him, Aaron Garcia in the number 26 truck. Well, we're actually getting a report that the 20 is still on the racetrack on the driver's screens out there, at least on the leaderboard, but on ours he's off the racetrack. We'll keep everybody updated on that, but I do believe we're going to lose the 20 on their leaderboards here shortly, and when that happens, or if that happens, it'll give Landshark the lead. But let's set the tone for the evening here for the main event at Martinsville Speedway. Coming into this race, 8 drivers have a chance to advance to the Final 4. Nick Donfrancesco is on pit road. He is one of them. He's locked in to the Championship 4, as a matter of fact, and he advances his way there due to his playoff points that he began each round here in the playoffs, and it helped him carry over and into the next round. He's locked in the 24. So is Beam SKP, the driver out of France, and the driver of the number 16 Toyota Tundra. He won earlier tonight at Talladega Super Speedway, second win of the season for him, and he's locked into the Final 4 next week at Phoenix. And here we find Jesse Carlson, the driver of the 88 Ford F-150, 32 points above the cut line. All he needs to do is park it at the end of the day in the top 15, no matter where the others finish, and he'll advance to the Final 4. And we're going to skip through and find Alex Tesdall, the driver of the 98 Ford F-150, his teammate there at Steel Horse Motorsports. He comes into this race 3 points above the Final 4 cut line, just over Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 Toyota. And we were watching Jeffrey a bit ago. He's worked his way into the top 10. He's having a good run, 3 points below the cut line coming in to this one. Beam SKP, another round of 8 contender to come to pit road. He and Nick Donfrancesco have both done that. The only thing that they gamble with here is if a caution comes out, they'll definitely be stuck 1 to 2 laps down. Continuing through on our round of 8 playoff driver review here, if you will. There is Timmy Brown, 6 points below the cut line coming into this race for making it to the Final 4. Had a strong run at Talladega earlier tonight, finishing in the top 5, getting a lot of points there, and that's why he's in the position he's in here at Martinsville Speedway, still with a shot to advance his way to Phoenix. There's Jordan Roughton, 17 Ford F-150 for No Shift Motorsports, 13 points below the cut line coming into this race at Martinsville. And Brett Baker, the driver of the 2, is not in this race. He will be eliminated, and he will be, not advance his way to Phoenix. We have a wreck on the front straightaway. Jordan Green got a piece of it. Timmy Brown in the 8 truck was involved. I don't know if this is going to draw a caution or not. As of now, we're green. He's getting going again, but that's a heartbreaker for one of our round of 8 contenders. He came into this race with an opportunity to advance to the Final 4 based on points. He doesn't necessarily need a win to advance there, so that's a shame. He falls a lap down, and he's going to keep on trucking along here at Martinsville Speedway. It's been an interesting start to the event so far. It's a 250 lap race. Long way to go still in this one. Shout out to Scorpion, driver of the number 52 Toyota Tundra for Rockstar Racing. He's driven all the way up into the top 10 here in stage 1. Definitely the best run he's had so far in his NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series career. He also races full-time with us on Gran Turismo Sport, and he's been running pretty good over there as well, finishing in the top 10 in those GT3 Cup cars. Driving the Dodge Viper, I do believe. I would need to double check that, though. Doing a great job here so far at Martinsville Speedway. And let's throw it down to the M-Race reporter, Alex Tesdall, the driver of the 98. Alex, you come into tonight's race at Martinsville, 3 points to the good. What position are you in, and how's the truck feel?
Currently running dimes, and the truck is
Have you been on and off pit road already? And what's the strategy there? Do you think it's a little early for the 24 and the 16 to go to the pits?
I haven't been to the pits yet, but we will have to get stopped eventually. I think it'd be better to have the tires at the end.
All right, then. There you heard it from Alex Tesdall himself. Again, folks, 3 points to the good. Running 9th right now. He has the leader right behind him in the 26, and that's Landshark. Can you confirm that the 20 is now off the racetrack, or is he still out there for you?
I'm pretty sure it's
I think he's off the track now.
Yeah. He would have been the leader, I believe, still. So, yeah, that's a tough break for Jackson. He won the race here last night at Martinsville Speedway for the Motormaster Series to steal the show for the round of 8 playoff drivers in the Xfinity cars, and he was off to a great start here in the Truck Series race at Martinsville, so that's a tough deal. Jesse Carlson, Timmy Brown, both coming to pit road. Both of them are round of 8 contenders. Jesse comes into this race 32 points to the good. Timmy Brown in the 8 truck comes into this race 6 points to the bad. So both of them have very different agendas. Jesse in the 88 just simply needs a decent day at best, at most, in order to advance to Phoenix next week with a shot at the championship. Timmy Brown, he could use some stage points. Top 5 finishes in the stages get you those stage points. And he can maybe use a top 5 finish, maybe even the win as well. There's Timmy getting service on pit road. There's Jeffrey Robinson Jr. for Rockstar Racing. Comes into this race 3 points below the cut line. He's the driver closest to Alex Tesdall. That's below the cut line. He's having a great start to this race. I don't think he's been to pit road yet. And he drove his way all the way up into the 7th position before the green flag cycle of pit stops began. His teammate Scorpion in the 52 running in the 8th position, I believe. Keep in mind, actually, I think that they have advanced their way up the leaderboard as of right now because green flag pit stops have begun. But we can tell you that it is still the 26 truck leading the race. He's yet to come to pit road. He's got a couple of trucks just in front of him that have been to pit road. Timmy Brown in the 8, Armstrong in the 15. And there you see that's the 88 truck leaving pit road. No, it's the 98 rather of Alex Tesdall. And here comes Landshark. Surrenders the lead. Similar strategy to what you had, Alex. You were thinking that the tires would be more important towards the end of this stage if we stay green the whole way, and I think there's a few other drivers thinking the same thing. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. He's pitting now, and so is the race leader Landshark in the 26. And there's a good look at the 6-time NASCAR champion, Jordan Green. 94 wins for him in NASCAR. Back on NASCAR 15. 1 win for him on the Heat games, and that came last year in the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series on NASCAR Heat 4. Very talented sim racer, and having an all-right start to the Martinsville race here. Very tough racetrack, and it's tough to navigate your way through the field, especially when you know that there's 8 drivers out here trying to get their way to the championship 4 for next week's race at Phoenix. And we can tell you that another taker on pit road, Josh Cole Diaz in the 23 and Scorpion in the 52. Josh, 3 wins this season, but was tragically and shockingly eliminated in the round of 12 for these truck playoffs in that 23 truck. And we'll get an update here from one of our in-race reporters, Cameron Norton, the driver of the 3. He worked his way all the way up into the top 5 at one point in this race, and we'll throw it down to him to ask him where he's running now and who the current leader is.
I am the current leader. I've been top 5 all race. We're just kind of staying out a little bit.
All right,
the truck's been really good on the long runs. I'm impressed. So we're going to come down pit road this time and put some 4th fresh tires on, and I'm spinning.
Oh, no. And he led a lap there, a couple of laps actually, getting some good camera time, and now he's going to come down pit road for service. It doesn't look like he damaged the truck too bad. How many extra seconds does it give you?
Just 2.
Okay.
I'm going to repair it.
I would do it if I was you, but that's just me, because you're not going to go a lap down, I don't think, before the end of this stage. and then you would gain track position if everyone else still has damage at the end of the stage, but who knows? That's just me. I always do it like that. Pick your poison, I suppose, and I believe that this is going to give the lead back to the 26 of Landshark. We'll throw it down to Alex Hesdahl to confirm.
Armstrong does get some hit.
How about it? He made the round of 8 for the Motormaster Series on Mondays in the Xfinity cars. He was eliminated here in the round of 12 for the Truck Series playoffs. He was one of 5 or 6 drivers to make the playoffs for both of those series, Mondays and Tuesdays. Having a good run here at Martinsville Speedway. Clearly a whole different strategy than everybody else. He's staying out, leading some laps here in stage 1. And who knows, he might take 2 tires on his pit stop and try to beat everybody that way. Driver for No Shift Motorsports. They had 3 drivers make the 12 truck playoffs this year. Very successful run for that organization, and a lot to be proud of here in 2021 for a lot of these race teams. Good battle here. Josh Colviez in the 23 trying to work his way to the inside of the 88 machine of Jesse Carlson. Couldn't quite get there. Jesse shut the door. Cameron Norton going to go to the inside of Jordan Roughton just behind him. And Jeffrey Robinson Jr. followed Cameron past the 17 truck. And now Josh goes way up the hill trying to complete the pass on Jesse. Behind all of them, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 got on the apron a little bit. He had to lift. Good save by him too, because man, as soon as you get the left sides on that rumble strip, usually it just snaps around on you with no warning. So good save by one of the round of 8 contenders, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. There you see him just behind Jordan Roughton in the 17, one of the other round of 8 contenders. In fact, all 3 of these drivers in this little mini group that we're watching, looking for a spot in the Final Four next week. Armstrong surrenders the race lead in the number 15 Ford F-150, brings it down pit road for scheduled service. Gotta wonder what he's going to do on this pit stop, because there's not too many laps to go in stage 1, so he might consider taking 2 tires and maybe a can or a can and a half. Who knows? It's kind of a toss-up at this point. We'll throw it down to Cameron Norton to find out how many laps remaining in stage 1.
We'll have about 8 laps to go, I believe, and the leader is Landshark.
So we have 8 laps remaining. Landshark is... Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, 6 laps remaining in stage 1. Landshark, the race leader. So Armstrong, even if he were to take no tires or 2 tires, he still wasn't going to hold on to the race lead. Landshark putting on a blistering pace here throughout stage 1. Under 5 laps remaining. And now he's going into turn 3. A lot of fast trucks are going to be stuck 1 lap down at the end of stage 1 unless they can find a way to get around them. Jordan Green, Timmy Brown, Scorpion in the 52. Some of those drivers had worked their way up into the top 10 at one point in this race, and right now they're trying to chase the leader down and get one of their laps back here before the end of stage 1, but they have very few laps to do it. Alex, what position are you in? I think you're the first truck in front of the leader.
Yeah, I'm safe.
Oh, wow. So the top 8 trucks are on the lead lap at this point in the race. And who's in 9th? Shadow, who's in 9th?
Locals.
Thank you. And Jordan Green moves the leader up and out of the way to try to get one of his laps back. He's on slightly fresher tires. He does it. So the top 9 trucks are going to be on the lead lap, and 10 really for the start of stage 2. Scorpion in the 52 is doing everything he can to be the first truck 1 lap down. White flag has been shown. And this is huge. Timmy Brown in the 8 trying to get to be the free pass truck here, because he's a round of 8 playoff contender. He does not want to be stuck 1 lap down to the race leader. Scorpion in the 52 has the free pass spot for now, and he's going to get that free pass. There's a couple of drivers in the round of 8 that are going to be stuck 1 lap down for the beginning of stage 2. Keep in mind, cautions are on, so if we see a rash of cautions, they may be able to get some of those back, but for now, we're going to have 10 trucks on the lead lap when we take the green flag for stage 2, and it was Aaron Garcia picking up the stage win We'll throw it down to the in-race reporter, Alex Tesdahl, to get the top 5.
Landshark, Napa, NASCAR King, all done in GC today.
And we'll throw it over to the in-race reporter, Cameron Norton, to get his rundown on stage 1. 4th place, 2 points for you. How's the truck?
It's awesome, man. I'm excited, man. This truck is so fast. Martinsville's been one of my favorite places to win, or try to go win at, and it's looking like we're going to have a shot.
It's looking like it definitely from up here in the booth as well. The Timac Motorsports trucks running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at the end of stage 1. Landshark getting the stage 1 win, and they're coming up to the restart zone to take the green flag for stage 2. The only driver in the round of 8 that got points, that needs points desperately, was Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. He got 1 point, so he's now 2 points behind Alex Tesdahl for the final 4 cut line, and they're rocking and rolling at Martinsville Speedway. Just keep that in mind, folks. The 51 truck trying to beat the 98 truck. He's gained 1 point on him for that final 4 spot, but it all goes up in smoke if the 17 or the 8 truck parking in victory lane, because then the 98 and 51 are both bumped out of the cut line. So it gets really interesting from here on out. Aaron Garcia with the lead. Nick Francesco battling to the inside of Josh Colm-Diaz for 2nd. Cameron Norton running in 4th behind them with a front row seat for that battle. Just behind them, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 got squeezed in the wall by the 17, I believe. And now he goes way up the hill. Alex Tesdahl, I think, took care of him and takes the position. Jesse Carlson is the next truck behind the 17 to challenge him for that spot. But that was huge, folks, because Jeffrey in the 51 needs to stay in front of that 98 if he wants to gain points on him, and vice versa. Alex Tesdahl looking to try to find a way to beat the 51 tonight to ensure and clinch his spot for the championship next week at Phoenix. And they're all chasing Aaron Garcia. He has checked out a little bit here. Regular season champion is Nick Francesco. He runs in 2nd in the orange and black number 24 Chevy Silverado. 7 wins for him this season, and always a favorite to win these races when he enters. There you see him running a very smooth line around the inside through 3 and 4 there. He's got his teammates running 3rd and 4th just behind him. Josh in the 23, Cameron in the 3, and a few truck lengths back. In the 5th position, you'll find the 98 of Alex Tesdahl. Great driving by Alex through 1 and 2 that time by. A good line. Arcs it out to the wall to get some speed. Jordan Routon in the 17 is a few truck lengths back, so no danger of being followed with the draft or anything like that. Shadow just needs to keep hitting his marks and being smooth, and he should be able to drive away from the 17. He's starting to do just that. And the 17 is under heavy fire from the 88 truck of Jesse Carlson. Jesse every now and then looking to the bottom of the 17, just can't quite get it to stick down there. And Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 right there with them. He might even have a slightly better truck than both of these drivers. Jeffrey drove his way all the way up into the top 7 earlier in this event. Actually top 5, finishing 5th in stage 1, so keep your eye on the 51. And we're keeping our eye on the battle for the lead as well. Kind of settled down a little bit. The battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is heating up, though. Cameron Norton in the 3 has driven his way around the 24 and the 23 of Josh Colm-Diaz. Power move by Cameron, looking for his first win of the season. First ever NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series win. He is a former NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series race winner, but it's been a little while, and he's hungry to find victory lane. So close so many times, especially on the 1.5 miles and the super speedways. But look at him go here at the paperclip, trying to go out there and get himself one of these grandfather clocks. Good run for Josh in the 23 as well. Was eliminated in the round of 12, and it was kind of shocking to the NOSSCAR community when that happened. He had so many playoff points along with 3 wins and a lot of momentum heading into the postseason, and it was, yeah, it's heartbreaking to see him eliminated there in the very first round. Still bringing a strong truck to the track every single race since then. It's just a shame it's all for no championship at Phoenix, because he's one of the drivers that definitely deserved the Final Four spot. But we were talking a lot during the broadcast break. Honestly, there's about 7 drivers that have had an amazing season that deserve a Final Four spot. The problem is only 4 of them get a Final Four spot, and only 1 of them gets the championship. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. power move to the inside of Jesse Carlson a couple of corners ago to take the position there, and now he's going to set his sights on the 17 of Jordan Roughton. These are 3 round of 8 drivers right here, and they're trying to run down another one, and that's Alex Tesdall in the 98. The round of 8 playoff drivers really shining here in this race. Besides the race leader and besides Cameron Norton in second, you'll find a line of round of 8 drivers running from 3rd all the way back to the 8th position. Jeffrey applying the pressure now to the 17 of Jordan Roughton. I think that Jordan has a good truck, but I don't know if it's better than the 51 and the 88 at this time. It could be because of the draft, but the draft is a very minimal effect here at a track like Martinsville. It appears that he's holding these 2 up a little bit, but he's also keeping decent lap times and keeping decent pace with the 2 trucks that he's trying to chase down in front of him, and that's the 98 and the 24. So Jordan's not doing anything wrong. But these drivers are just simply doing everything they can to get a run, and what a run that was there for Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 truck for Rockstar Racing. He completes the pass. Jordan Roughton does the respectful thing and lets him go, and back to single file these 3 trucks are. This is all inside the top 10. All 3 of these drivers have had a great season. And shout out to Jordan Roughton for picking up a win in the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series this past Friday at Kansas Speedway. He was very excited about that. Driving the number 13 Chevy Camaro for Rockstar Racing over there in the Cup Series. And we're getting a report from Cameron Norton that the lead is heating up. Pardon me, folks. The Global 250 here at Martinsville, second to last race of the season, 4th annual NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series season. We're going to crown a champion next Tuesday. Join us, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the NASCAR Series Racing YouTube channel. Cameron Norton in the 3, drawing closer to Aaron Garcia, only a couple of truck lengths back now, and I'm not sure if the handling is maybe going away on the 26 or if Cameron's truck is bad fast. I think it might be a little bit of both maybe, because Cameron was running solidly in the top 5 all race long. He's just been kind of stuck in traffic, but taking it easy and doing his own thing, going at his own pace, racing his truck and the track instead of the competition around him. And it's paying off for him. Here he is, all over the tailgate of Aaron Garcia. 2 non-playoff drivers battling it out here for the lead at Martinsville Speedway. I guess I shouldn't say that. Cameron Norton in the 3, eliminated in the round of 12, but he most definitely was a playoff driver here this year. Ooh, to the inside he goes. Good run there. Couldn't quite draw even with them. Kind of needs to get the run through the center of the corner. Oh, never mind. I don't need to say nothing. Cameron to the bottom, and he's going to take the lead from Aaron Garcia. The Earnhardt crossover move applied expertly by the 26, and we've got a dogfight for the lead. Ooh. There was contact made there. 26 slid up into the 3 just a little bit. More contact there, and good stuff here battling for the lead. And what it's allowing is it's allowing Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23 to gain ground on both of these drivers. They're getting racy, and the 23 has nobody side by side with him, so he's able to hit these corners perfectly. He doesn't need to drive in a little extra hard to keep a truck behind him, or he does not need to drive in a little lighter to try to get a run off. He's just hitting the corners the way he wants to, and he's gaining ground on the 26 and the 3 in a pretty big hurry. Contact made between these 2 again. Cameron going to the bottom as they go into turn 3. He's not giving up. Watch for the Earnhardt crossover move by the 26. We'll see if it pays off. Cameron's going to try to shut the door. I think he did, and he's going to complete the pass and take the race lead. Now, he ran him down relatively easily, so I think at this point as long as Cameron runs a few good laps in a row, he should be able to just drive away from the 26 truck. I think Cameron might have the truck to beat here today at Martinsville Speedway. And what a pass it was, and what a move.
One of my favorite racetracks.
It could be the day that Cameron finds victory lane for the first time in the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series. We got a good battle here. Jesse Carlson, Jordan Roughton, Jordan Green. Jesse in the 88, 32 points above the Final Four cut line coming into this race. Doesn't need to stress too much about this one, just needs to have a decent finish. Jordan Roughton in the 17, on the other hand, 13 points behind the cut line coming into this race, and he could use a good finish. He could use some stage points, he could use a win, he could use as many points as possible, so he's probably stressing a little bit more behind the wheel of the 17 than Jesse is behind the wheel of the 88.
The handling's gone away on the 26.
You might be right. Yeah, you're right. Josh Colm-Diaz goes to the second position, and then right after you mentioned the handling going away on the 26, he got very loose coming out of turn 4 that last time by. He did a great job saving it, but it cost him a couple of tenths, and he's dropped back about 6 truck lengths behind Josh Colm-Diaz, who now takes the second position. I'm a little bit surprised, because you're right. It appears the handling is going the wrong direction here the longer the run goes for Aaron Garcia. He might have the best short run truck, but I think when it comes to the long haul, it might be Cameron in the 3, maybe Josh in the 23. Short run trucks, you look for the 26 and maybe the 24 of Nick Don Francesco as well. Timmy Brown, former Brickyard 200 winner in the Motormaster Series, comes into this race 6 points below the playoff cut line. Still sits 6 points below the Final Four cut line. Alex Tesdahl did not get any points. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. did, but Jeffrey just simply gains 1 point closer to that cut line. Does not bump anyone out or anything like that. So Timmy Brown, still a 6 point deficit he needs to close. And whether that's with some stage points or whether that's just beating these drivers by 6 positions at the end of the race on the racetrack, he's got to find a way to do it. Couple of trucks are coming to pit road. Jordan Green in the 00, and I think that's Jordan Roughton just behind him in the 17. And it is. And Jordan Roughton's truck is actually appearing to be stuck against the inside pit wall on my screen. He's not moved in quite some time. Oh, and now he's going to start moving as he just got a shot from the 24 truck. I'm not sure if Jordan's getting service right now or if this is some sort of problem with the game here. Jordan Roughton might have actually just lost a lap because of all of this, or he's truly getting service right now and it's just an error on my screen. Let's see where it shuffles out after all this. Jesse Carlson comes to pit road. So green flag cycle of pit stops, scheduled pit stops beginning here in stage 2. Some of these trucks electing to come to pit road early to get 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles sooner. Put them to good use and try to go out there and get stage points. It might even be the way to go. Most of the drivers that did that in stage 1 are the ones that got stage points. And we've seen a few do that. The only thing you risk is going 1 lap down if a caution comes out after you've made the commitment to come to pit road and get that service, because you'll definitely lose 1 to 2 laps, maybe even 3, depending on where you are compared to where the race leader is on the racetrack. Cameron Norton leads Josh Colm-Diaz in second, Aaron Garcia in third. None of those 3 have come to pit road yet, and none of those 3 are trying to make their way to the Final Four next week at Phoenix. No pressure for them, just going out there and trying to get these wins. Let's throw it down to the race leader, Cameron Norton, to find out the top 5 in the race.
Top 5 is me, NASCAR King, Landshark, Armstrong, and Scorpion.
Thanks a bunch, and more green flag pit stops beginning here. Saw Alex Tesdahl and a couple of others go to pit road, but How about Armstrong all the way up into the 4th position, yet to come to pit road, but doing everything he can to go out there and get the win here today. And there's Scorpion, driver from France, running in the top 5 up in the 5th position. Even before this strategy here to stay out and go up into the top 5 like he has, he had driven his way up into the top 10, and he's having a great race here at Martinsville Speedway. He got the free pass at the end of stage 1 to be the 10th and last truck on the lead lap for the start of stage 2. And since then, he's been putting the number 52 Toyota Tundra for Rockstar Racing to good use. Timmy Brown in the 8. One of the round of 8 contenders goes a lap down to Cameron Norton. He was held 1 lap down at the end of stage 1. He was the 2nd truck 1 lap down, and you need to be the 1st truck a lap down to get that free pass, so it was a shame to see, but yeah, Timmy lost a lap in stage 1, and he's going to lose another here to Cameron Norton in stage 2. His hopes of advancing to the final 4 are kind of going up in smoke here. He had such a great race earlier tonight at Talladega, finished 5th in that race, and that's really what kept him in the hunt for the final 4 spot coming into Martinsville, only 6 points below the cut line. And it would have been a Cinderella story if Timmy Brown could have maybe won Talladega or pointed his way in here at Martinsville, but the odds are shrinking here as the laps go on. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. entered 3 points below the cut line to advance to the final 4, gained 1 from stage 1 by finishing 5th and getting 1 point. Alex got no points in the 98, so it's a 2-point deficit. Alex has a 2-point cushion over the 51 of Jeffrey Robinson Jr. Only problem for Alex is, actually, never mind, folks. I believe Alex was actually ahead and still is ahead of the 51 of Jeffrey Robinson Jr. In stage 1, it wasn't that way, but some speed has been found for the driver of the 98. We'll throw it down to the driver of the 98, Alex Tesdahl. Alex, you're ahead of the 51 right now on the leaderboard. How's the truck feeling? Is this more like it?
The truck's coming to life now. We're a little bit tight on the short run, but it really comes to life a bit in the long run.
Very apparent as you've driven your way past a couple of these trucks that you were having a bit of trouble passing in stage 1. So some improvements have been made to the 98 Ford F-150 for the Steel Horse Motorsports team, and it's been a great run for Alex here at Martinsville so far. Had a great run earlier tonight at Talladega. Stage points in both stages, including the stage 2 win there at Talladega. And unfortunately, in a late race incident, he finished in 14th, or else he would be well above the cut line coming into this race at Martinsville. But instead, he's got a 2-point deficit he's got to manage throughout this race. Well, you heard it, folks. 18 laps remaining. There's Aaron Garcia coming to pit road, actually leaving pit road already in the 26. I didn't see exactly how long his pit stop took, so I can't even begin to guess what adjustments he made or what he did. But, oh, and we've got Josh Colm Diaz in the 23 parked on pit road and motionless, and that is a heartbreaker, folks, because before the cycle of green flag pit stops, he was running in the 2nd position and absolutely had a chance to get his 4th win of the season. Eliminated in the round of 12 and eliminated in the round of 8 for the Motormaster Series on Mondays. 2 strong seasons for him. 3 wins here in the trucks, and that's a heartbreaker for the driver of the 23. Still Cameron Norton leading here at Martinsville Speedway. He's yet to be to pit road.
I think my strategy here is just to run as long as I can and still have the fresher tires to pass. The truck is just fast.
What do the left sides look like at the end of these fuel runs?
They're in the 60s for me. I don't know about these other drivers, but I've been saving.
See, I'm not quite sure, but honestly, what I would do at this point is what I would do is either split the stage in half and take 4, or I would do this and then take 2 and just try to get to the end, because I think that if you take 4 at this point, you're gonna get leapfrogged by all the drivers that took 4 earlier in this race on their pit stops. So I don't know.
NASCAR King's still on the track, by the way, Tyler.
Oh, is he? On my screen, he's parked on pit road. I hope he keeps going. Hopefully he stays out there. Yeah, I promise you, I'm not kidding you.
I think the 23 had a lot of damage on his pit stop.
Most of these guys are 2 laps down.
Give us the top 5 for us.
Me, Armstrong, Scorpion, Landshark, and Shadow.
How about that? So, out of all the drivers that have made a pit stop already, it's Aaron Garcia in 4th and Alex Tesdall in 5th. They're leading the charge amongst all the drivers that have been to pit road. And it's Armstrong in 2nd and Scorpion in 3rd. You're watching Scorpion in the 52. He's stretching it. And there's a good look at Armstrong doing everything he can to come on out here and get a win or a top 5 finish in the last couple of races of the season. Go on out on a high note. Made the playoffs here for the Tailgate Truck Series. Eliminated in the round of 12. He was eliminated in the round of 8 for the Motormaster playoffs. A very strong 2 seasons for him here in 2021, but he's going to surrender the 2nd place position and bring the Ford F-150 to pit road for No Shift Motorsports. Jordan Roughton on pit road as well, and I don't know, man, I think there's some connection issues going on from my end maybe, because Jordan Roughton in the 17 is also motionless on pit road, and so is Beam in the 16. So the good news for Beam is if he's truly out of this race, he won the race earlier tonight at Talladega. He's locked into the Final 4 next week at Phoenix. Bad news is for Jordan Roughton, he's not locked into the Final 4, and he needs points. So if you guys see the 17 anywhere on the leaderboard or on the racetrack, let me know, because I got trucks parked on pit road here.
I haven't seen the 17.
I haven't seen him either.
He might truly be out of this thing, and if so, that's a heartbreaker. And Jordan Roughton will not advance his way to the Final 4. We can tell you Scorpion has surrendered the 3rd spot. He is now on pit road. And I think that the driver still leading this race and yet to be to pit road is Cameron Norton, the driver of the 3.
I've already made my service, and I'm in 2nd.
Neither is the 52, and he just made a stop.
So the lead is going to change hands over to Cameron Norton here once he goes by the 52, who's parked on pit road right now. There he goes. Cameron back to the lead. He's got the fresher tires over Aaron Garcia, but I do believe that Cameron took 2 only, so he's got 2 tires that are way...
4.
Oh, did you? Okay, so your tires are much fresher, and you have the advantage in these final handful of laps in stage 2. They've got 1 truck in front of them they might need to deal with before the end of this stage. It's Timmy Brown in the 8. And other than that, they've got open track after that Ford F-150. No challengers from 3rd on back coming up to steal the stage win away. Cameron Norton just needs to hold on for another couple of laps. How many to go?
6 to go. Coming up on 5.
And a master strategy there by Cameron Norton in the 3 to stay out and take advantage of how good his truck is on the long runs, and then utilize the fresh tires later in the run to outdrive the truck that might be faster than him on the short runs, and that's the 26 of Aaron Garcia. Very impressive, very smart, and it might get him his first ever NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series win tonight if he can keep doing that throughout the final stage of this one, and it very well might get him the stage 2 win here at Martinsville. I'd like to take this time to thank everybody who's been tuning in to the broadcast all season long. It's been a great season, 4th annual NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series season, and next week at Phoenix we crown another champion here, 2021 NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series champion right here on NASCAR Heat 5, and that race will be brought to the fans here on the NOSSCAR Series Racing YouTube channel, so don't miss it. And I just saw that too, and I don't know what the deal is, but Scorpion is back on pit road. He was going to be on the lead lap and potentially in the top 5 at the end of this stage, but something has brought the 52 back to pit road, and he's going to be a couple of laps down because of this, and that's a shame. He had a shot to go out there and get his first win.
Well, coming to the white flags, my first stage win.
First ever, yeah, on the trucks?
Yes, sir.
I'd have to confirm, so I'm glad you said it. Wow, look at that, white flag. Next time by, we'll see the green and white checkered flags to signal the end of stage 2, and it's looking like it's the 3 that's going to get the stage 2 win. if you can let Scorpion get a lap back, that would be nice without losing the stage.
I was trying, but he drove it in there.
And the stage 2 win goes to Cameron Norton in the 3. Aaron Garcia in the 26 is going to finish in 2nd, and we'll get the official top 5 from Cameron Norton.
Shadow 3rd, NASCAR 4th, and NASCAR King 5th. I think Landshark has the short run truck, but on the longer run, it's the 23 and me.
I think so too. So it was NASCAR Ooth 4th and NASCAR King 5th?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
With 110 laps left to go, I just got to hold on.
And so with those 3 points that Alex Tesdall in the 98 truck receives, that puts him 5 points above Jeffrey Robinson Jr. going into the final stage. So Jeffrey, he needs to beat Alex Tesdall by 5 positions on the racetrack to tie him. And the tiebreaker would go to the best finish in this playoff round. So we would have to do some research here and see who's finished where throughout the round of 8 if that were to happen. But it's a bit of an uphill climb for Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 truck if he wants to advance his way to the Final 4. We'll see if he can do it, or we'll see if Alex Tesdall can hold on and beat him, or stay within those 5 spots. The green flag is out. Final stage time at Martinsville. Jesse Carlson to the bottom, found the apron, slid up into the side of Cameron Norton a little bit, and that really shuffles the running order here. Jesse Carlson goes to the lead. Very aggressive move by Jesse in the 88. Contact was made between a lot of those trucks, and it really shuffled Cameron Norton in the 3 out of line. He's doing everything he can to get back to the bottom. If he can stay in 3rd, I think that he'll be able to run these 2 back down over the course of the long haul.
I think the speed just hooked to 23.
And he's not on my screen, so I couldn't see. The 23 apparently is around, but I didn't see it. And we stay green. The cautions are on, and we have not seen a single caution for an on-track incident. Right now it's Jesse Carlson, Aaron Garcia, Cameron Norton, 1, 2, 3. Nick Donfrancesco in the 24 doing everything he can to get around the 3 and run down the top 2, but that's on the agenda for Cameron as well. And Nick Donfrancesco hit the apron in 3 and 4 that last time by. Cameron gets back around the 24. Oh, but now Nick just sent it into Cameron there and drives him up the hill. I didn't see exactly what happened there.
Hit the apron and act like it was my fault.
Right, I don't understand that at all. I saw the 24 hit the apron, and that's definitely what forced him to lose control there. And so now the battle continues between these two. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. is trying to navigate his way through, but now Nick Donfrancesco puts Cameron Norton up into the wall, and there's really no need for that. Cameron did nothing wrong there, and now Cameron is dropping back a number of positions. NASCAR officials might be taking a Final 4 spot away from Nick Donfrancesco. That was absolutely ridiculous. All my years of doing this, for a guy that's got the regular season championship and 7 wins, to act like that is just childish.
Mine just cost me the win.
Back to the race we go, though, and I apologize for my unprofessionalism there, but honestly, that was a joke, and the 24 really needs to rethink himself. But we're going to get back to the action. The battle for the lead is on. Aaron Garcia in the 26, Jesse Carlson in the 88. They've driven away from it, and I'm glad. I'm really glad. Cameron Norton needs to be back involved in the battle for the lead here, and if the 24 does something like that again, he's really not involved in our Final 4. That was absolutely a joke. Somebody help me pass the message along about that if we can. Someone watching the stream out there is also in the live chat party. Let's let Nick Donfrancesco in the 24 know if he pulls that again, he's done. joke. Absolute joke. And I really hope that that's the end of that, because that was garbage. The green flag is going to come back out. These trucks just entered the restart zone, and we're rocking and rolling here for the Global 250 final stage at Martinsville Speedway. It's the last race in the round of 8, and we're looking to find out who our final 4 drivers are heading into the championship race at Phoenix next week. Closest round of 8 contender towards the front is Jesse Carlson in the 88. He runs in second. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. with a very aggressive move. Got involved, or made contact there, got into the back of the 98, and he's going to take the 3rd position away. Nick Francesco is going to try to follow him through. Contact.
Fairly certain it's 24, actually.
Yeah, this is crazy. Everyone getting very aggressive here in the final stage at Martinsville. There's a lot on the line. Tempers are flaring, and people are trying to advance their way into the final 4 next week at Phoenix. The thing is, for the 24, he's locked in based on points. He doesn't need to be this aggressive, and he doesn't need to take this many risks. It's really the 51 and the 98 that are really hustling for points here as we have a battle for the lead. Jesse Carlson goes to the bottom of Aaron Garcia. Steel Horse Motorsports Ford. And a 5-star Racing Chevy side by side now still as they work through 1 and 2. Now back to single file. The 88 going to try again. But I was mentioning there, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. He's thinking points. Right now he's 5 points behind Alex Tesdall. He's ahead of Alex right now, but Alex is the one in 4th, just behind Jeffrey in the 51, so it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough if they were to finish where they are right now for Jeffrey to advance to the final 4. There's a good look at Alex Tesdall in the position to be the 4th and final driver to compete for the championship next week. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing, really. If he gets top 5 or a 6th or 7th place finish, even if Jeffrey finishes in 3rd, he'll still advance by a couple of points. Cameron Norton in the 3, right behind him. Arguably the strongest long-run truck. Nick Francesco in the 24, running in 6th just behind him. And it's Timmy Brown in the 8 truck right behind Nick. But I do believe that Timmy Brown is 1 or 2 laps down at this stage in the race. And the battle for the lead has calmed down just a little bit here. And Aaron Garcia in the 26 has kind of driven away from Jesse Carlson in the 88 Steel Horse Motorsports Ford and put a couple of truck lengths of an advantage over him. And that's exactly what he needs. The draft is not strong here at Martinsville, but it's strong enough to the point where you can stay with somebody if they're a little bit quicker than you. But once they get away far enough, then sometimes they tend to just drive away. Cameron Norton's driving away. He goes up into the 3rd position now. It's around Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. He was able to cleanly, I think contact was made, but he was able to get around Alex Tesdall a couple of laps ago in the 98. Got around 24 of Nick Francesco as well. So keep your eye on that 3 truck. He's rocking and rolling here. Arguably has the best long-run truck and now set his sights on the top 2. Now, if you're Jeffrey Robinson Jr., you're doing everything you can at this point. There's only 1 or 2 trucks, maybe 3, faster than you at this point. You're running in 4th. At this point, all Jeffrey can hope for is that a couple of trucks can get around the 98 of Alex and get in between those 2 on the leaderboard for the final race results at the end of this one. That's all he can kind of ask for at this point. Alex Tesdall at this point just kind of needs to stay within striking distance of the 51 truck, not let him get too far out in front on the leaderboard, and stay within a couple of positions of him at the end of this race, and he'll advance to Phoenix. Alex has never advanced to a Final 4 here in NASCAR, and 2021 very well might be the first year he gets to do it. throw it down to Alex Tesdall. Alex, how long have you been with NASCAR? What game did you start on?
My first series was Lord Master back on Heat 2.
How did it go?
Made the playoffs, but eliminated first round.
Compare this season in trucks to other seasons you've had in the past. Has it been much better, much more fun, much more competitive, much more stressful? Give us an insight on how your seasons went compared to the other seasons you've done.
Definitely much more fun, a lot more competitive, and I think that adds on a little bit of stress too, of course, but overall it's been a good time.
Awesome, I'm glad. Keep up the good work. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
Here's his teammate, Jesse Carlson in the 88, and he's got a mirror full of Cameron Norton in the 3. Folks, I'll tell you, Cameron is coming. Slowly but surely, he's working his way closer and closer to your race leader, Aaron Garcia. And I think that it's only a matter of time until that 26 starts to fade a little bit. We saw him start to get very loose over the course of the long run in Stage 2, and that was what gave the Stage 2 win to Cameron Norton. He had the long run truck, and it was clear he was able to stay out longer on the tires he had and not lose much time on the stopwatch, and that allowed him to stay out later and use fresh tires to the end at the end of the stage to hold on to the lead. Overall, it was a successful stage and a great strategy for Cameron to get his first ever stage win here in the Truck Series. And it very well could be the day, folks, where he gets his first ever NOSSCAR Truck Series win. All over the tailgate of Jesse Carlson now. Jesse's blocking the bottom like crazy, and it's really holding the 3 up. I think if Cameron can get a good enough run exiting one of these turns, he might be able to get to the inside of Jesse, but he's making it difficult. And he's definitely doing it intentionally. Oh. Yeah, he's making Cameron have to work. He knows Cameron's got a strong truck, and it might be the night where he gets his first win, and I don't know if he wants that to happen or not. He's really doing a nice job taking the inside line away, and he's blocking this 3 truck, stopping the momentum that Cameron gets exiting these turns every time. Cameron might need to use the bumper.
Josh, catch up.
Yep, and it's allowing Aaron Garcia to get away. Honestly, now Jesse lifts and lets him go. I'm shocked. I really think Jesse did that on purpose. I think that he knew he had nothing for you, and he was just trying to hold you up. Man, there's a lot of drivers doing a lot of weird things out here tonight, and a couple of them are definitely getting talked to. Aaron Garcia, your race leader. And he's coming out of turn 2 there, and just see the next truck you'll see in line coming up. That's the driver in second, and it's pretty much a full straightaway now separating the two, and it's mostly because Jesse Carlson was oddly holding up the two of them for the sake of nothing, really. He's got no agenda here. He's 32 points above the cut line coming into this final 4 race, so there was no need for Jesse to do any of that. Surprised, really, but it happened, and now Cameron's got a lot of work to do before the end of this race. There you see him going into turn 3. A lot of laps left, though. Cameron, how many to go?
71. Plenty of time.
Oh, my goodness, plenty of time. Like an eternity here. They do click off quick here at Martinsville, don't get me wrong, but that's a lot of time. And yeah, but honestly, keep your eye on the 3. I think he's got something here. Aaron Garcia in the 26 truck coming out of turn 2 there. He gets a little bit loose. He saves it. And we got a... Yep, we got a caution. Jeffrey Robinson Jr., one of the round of 8 contenders. He was right in front of Alex Tesdall up in the top 5 when he got loose and spun and hit the wall, and a caution has come out.
I needed a green flag run.
Yes, he did. Well, this changes everything, and we're not quite in the window yet where everybody's going to be able to make it on fuel. And even if you could make it on fuel, you're definitely not making it on the tires. You're getting about 57 laps on fuel, but I feel like everybody's getting a lot less on the tires when they're pushing as hard as they can. It'll be an interesting restart. I think everyone will be coming to pit road for 4 tires and fuel, maybe some adjustments here and there, and we'll have to see how the running order looks for the restart. And the green flag back in the air. They're rocking and rolling heading into turn 1. Aaron Garcia, Cameron Norton, 1-2. They lead the charge. Jordan Green in the 00. Jesse Carlson in the 88. Nick Don Francesco in the 24. I know Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23 is in this battle here somewhere, but his truck is not visible on my screen, and it's parked on pit road for me for some reason. So Josh Colm-Diaz scored in the 3rd spot. It's going to be weird if he wins because I got no truck to show except for the one parked on pit road, but we got a great battle deeper in the field. They were 3 and 4 wide there. It's getting really dicey. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. is trying to beat Alex Tesdall by 5 positions on the race results at the end of this thing to gain those points he needs to get into the Final Four. Contact made there again. Alex was in the middle, and he got shoved by Timmy Brown into Jordan Green there for a moment. Everybody held on to it and soldiering on here. It's Aaron Garcia, Cameron Norton, 1-2, and they're being chased by Jesse Carlson. Well, a good old-fashioned crank it up never hurt no one, I don't think. Grab the volume knob, turn it sky high, folks. It's the final race in the round of 8. It's the cutoff race here at Martinsville. It's the Global 250, and after this, we'll find out who the Final 4 contenders are. We'll find out exactly who is advancing to the championship race next week at Phoenix. But for now, enjoy the sound of these trucks here in the final stage at Martinsville. And crank them down, folks. We're going to bring you back to full commentary for the Global 250 at Martinsville Speedway here on NASCAR Heat 5. Broadcasted to you live on the NASCAR Series Racing YouTube channel. Hit the like and subscribe button. Follow all the action all season long for our 3 national series on NASCAR Heat 5. And we have action coming soon from iRacing. NASCAR Elite National Series drivers are in the playoffs right now, and we're going to have our championship race broadcasted to you on the YouTube channel in just a couple of weeks from now, so be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for our Gran Turismo races as well. We're 4 races into the season for both of those series, and some of those races will be soon uploaded and premiered live on the NASCAR Series Racing YouTube channel. Alex Tesdall just took the position away from Timmy Brown, and Timmy drove him up and into the outside wall, and around goes Alex. What in the world happened there, Alex? Walk us through what happened.
Dented it and wrecked me.
Jeez, I saw that. But what happened before that? Was the contact made at all?
I got into his door a little bit, trying to get around him, but I didn't think I'll deserve that.
No, I don't think so either. And man, that's a shame. There's a lot of rough driving going on tonight at Martinsville, and a lot of drivers showing that they're driving with their elbows out here tonight at Martinsville. And what position did that put you back in?
10th.
Oh man, and where is?
Just got 9th from Jesse. Yeah, I think he pulled over. Oh, okay, never mind. I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, I'm back at the 9th.
Where's Juicy?
I think he's in 5th.
Oh man, so it's close. Okay, so Jeffrey Robinson Jr. is in 5th. Alex Tesdall is in 9th. As of right now, Alex is going to advance to the Final 4 by 1 point over Jeffrey Robinson Jr. If he can just hold on and finish where he is. If the race were to end now, then it would be Alex advancing by a single point. And if Jeffrey Robinson Jr. gains a couple more positions, then he will advance into the Final 4. If he gains 1 more, it's a tie, and the tiebreaker goes to the driver who has the best finish between the two in the round of 8. And we would need to look up who has that between those two to figure it all out, and we will before the broadcast is done here tonight. And so things are getting crazy here. Things have been crazy all race long, really. They're all chasing the 26 of Aaron Garcia. Cameron Norton.
Lost his speed again.
Yeah, Cameron Norton in the 3, though, is closing. And the leader is also in heavy lap traffic. I got to wonder if that's maybe playing a role maybe in the speed that he's losing, but maybe not.
Off the corner.
Yeah, I saw that too. He's wiggling a lot, and I think that the 26 truck gets loose on the long runs, and it's a handful for him to hang on to, but the short run speed is unbeatable. It's unmatched, so it's almost worth it, but Cameron Norton in the 3 has the answer for him here, and that's the long run. Gets a little wiggly coming out of 2 there, but overall the 3 truck is faster if Cameron just keeps running smooth laps and doing what he's been doing. He's going to get to the tailgate of the 26, and it's going to be a battle for the lead between them.
37 laps to go.
37 remaining, getting the rundown there. The word on the street from Cameron Norton. He's up in 2nd, and he's doing a great job. Both of these drivers are looking for their first ever NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win. Gotta wonder what's going through their mind for the pit stops that are going to be coming up later on in this stage. Man, this is wild. And this is all happening, this battle for the lead that we're watching, it's all happening just behind 2 trucks that are trying desperately to stay on the lead lap, and for good reason too. So most of our races at short tracks, we run no cautions, but today we have the yellows on due to our smaller field size. I believe there were 17 trucks that entered this race, and so the yellows are on, and so these drivers doing everything.
He popped the curb.
He did. He went up over the rumble strip and gave a shot to the 88. I don't think it was intentional. I think he just got loose and lost control, but the 88 is going to take exception to that, and up the hill goes Aaron Garcia, and Cameron Norton going to the inside. It's a battle for the lead. Aaron scrubbed the wall a little bit coming out of 2, so that burned his momentum, and Cameron to the bottom has the long run truck, and he's going to take the lead. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 is on pit road, and that's huge when it comes to the Final 4 cutoff. Jordan Green is on pit road as well. Alex Tesdall still out on the racetrack, and never mind, here he comes. Nick Donfrancesco on pit road in the 24. So pit road becoming a very busy place here with about 34 laps remaining in the race. And we have a new race leader, and his name is Cameron Norton in the 3. And I think as long as he can just keep on doing what he's been doing, he'll drive away from that 26 because he has the long run speed advantage. Gotta wonder when these trucks are going to come to pit road and get service. You can tell the 26 is struggling out there, but he doesn't want to pit yet because he knows Cameron is going to run him back down on the newer tires later on in the race, because it already happened in stage 2. They found out what strategy does what sort of thing, and I think that at this point Aaron Garcia in the 26 needs to find a way to make this truck a long run truck, last a couple more laps, pit when the 3 does, or at least around when he does, to stay kind of on the same strategy here and the same level of grip on these tires. Alex Tesdall on and off pit road. He's just behind these 2 leaders. I see Carlson following him pretty close as well in the 88 truck, but he is yet to come to pit road. It's been a wild race here at Martinsville, and it always is. Every year, this cutoff race in the round of 8. I think that NASCAR in real life puts this race as the cutoff race for a good reason, and that is to create drama and create excitement, and it certainly does that every time we come here. There's Armstrong completing a pass on Jordan Green around the outside. Scorpion in the 52 right there with him. Really impressed all race long with Scorpion. Ran inside the top 10 at one point in this race and was up in the top 5 even in stage 2. He's got a fast Toyota Tundra there for Rockstar Racing.
The 26 pit?
Yes, he did. He just came down pit road. Aaron Garcia knows the tires are gone, and this might be the way he wins. He might be able to leapfrog Cameron Norton at this point. This might even force Cameron to come to pit road as well over the next couple of laps. Or Cameron might have wanted to see this, and he might want to keep on rolling to have the tire advantage near the end. We'll have to see what happens, but we do know Cameron is still out on the racetrack and trucking along. There's Aaron Garcia in the 26, still stopped on pit road and getting service. 4 tires and fuel, I could imagine. I didn't see him right from when he came to a stop, so I can't tell how long he was sitting there. I'm not sure if he took 2 or 4, but he's down and away. He's back out onto the racetrack, working his way down the back straightaway now. And up and rolling. He might have done 2 tires, I'm not too sure. And if the left sides are going to make it the whole way, 2 tires is probably the way to go. Might need to go up on the wedge a couple of clicks to make sure she's not so snappy loose on 2, but it might be the race-winning call. That's the wild, chaotic thing about these NOSSCAR races. So much strategy involved. These drivers always thinking while they're driving and doing the math and crunching numbers when it comes to fuel and tires and percentage of the tire wear and the laps remaining and things like that. It's such a high-speed chess match no matter what track you see these trucks go to, and it's always a lot of fun to sit up here in the broadcast booth and call the action and watch 16 to 25 of my buddies go out there and race for these wins. We saw 23 trucks in the race earlier tonight at Talladega. 16 entered here at Martinsville. A lot of them electing to not participate just to stay out of the way of the round of 8 contenders, and very respectful move and humble move on their part. Cameron Norton surrenders the race lead and comes to pit road in the number 3 Chevy Silverado. He pits, I believe, with only about 20-something laps remaining.
22.
22.
So this will give me fresher tires.
It will. I don't know. What are you going to do?
4 tires, it's the way to go.
Yeah, okay. There goes Aaron Garcia in the 26, but I don't think he's going to pass him for position this time by. He'll have to come around one more.
Laps down.
Yeah, so then he did go with 4, okay. If he was 2 down, I firmly believe he went with 4, so you going with 4 is probably the right call as well. See, I'm glad I'm up in the booth and not on the track, because I might have tried 2.
Coming out.
And out of the pits comes Cameron Norton. There goes Aaron Garcia just on the outside of him in the 26, but as you mentioned, you're going to have the fresher tires and you're not too far behind the 26. It might be an interesting race between you two from here on out. Who is the new race leader?
Armstrong.
How about it? Loves doing that too, staying out on these tires and the fuel, and he is the current race leader. Was eliminated in the round of 12, but he advanced his way into the round of 8 for the playoffs for the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series on Mondays, but was eliminated there. But overall, two very successful seasons for him here in 2021 in NOSSCAR for Jason Armstrong, and a great showing here tonight at Martinsville as well, even before this strategy was solidly running in the top 10. And we'll throw it down to the M-Race reporter, Cameron Norton. Cameron, what position are you in, and what's the top 5 looking like?
I am 4th, and Oop is in 2nd, Land Sharks in 3rd.
All right, so Jesse Carlson is yet to come to pit road either in the number 88 truck, and he's actually drawing along the oh no, it's Alex Tesdall actually, who's trying to get one of his laps back. He's on slightly fresher tires, I think. I'm not sure. It's a good battle there between those two trucks. And let's throw it down to Alex. What position are you in, and how's the truck feeling?
Currently running 10th at the
Do you know where Juicy is?
No.
Uh-oh. Well, I'll try to find out for you. It's hard to really figure out.
Top 5.
He's not top 5?
Nope.
Okay.
He's not 6th either?
Nope. Napfin is.
Okay, so Jeffrey Robinson Jr. is anywhere from 7th to 9th. Okay, yeah, because you could see him if he was, yeah, in 8th. So Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in 7th, there you see him, and Alex Tesdall in 10th. As of now, Alex would advance to the Final Four by 2 points over Jeffrey Robinson Jr. if they were to finish right now. He's got a 5-point cushion because of some of the stage points that he got in Stage 2. And it's really coming back to help him. And there's Cameron Norton in the 3, hoping the truck comes to life over the course of this last 18 or 17 laps or so. He's coming up now to the tailgate of Alex Tesdall in the 98. If he can find a way around him, he might be able to run down the 26. Alex goes to the bottom, lets him go by.
Carlson's the leader.
And what does that mean? Who just surrendered? Oh, so Armstrong. I think Armstrong is yet to pit, but he's still surrendered the lead to Jesse Carlson. So both of those trucks are yet to come to pit road. And Jesse was just simply able to pass him on the racetrack here and take over the race lead in the number 88 Ford F-150 for Steel Horse Motorsports. His strategy might be to stay out as long as possible and hope for a caution. Cameron Norton's running down the 26th, though. And that might be the battle for the lead once all of the green flag cycle of pit stops have been completed. Yes, he did, and he gets it back going again, but that is a heartbreaker for Timmy Brown in the 8 truck. Came into this race only 6 points below the cutoff line, but as the stages went on, he's in a must-win situation if he wants to advance to the Final Four, because he did not get any stage points, and some of these other drivers that are in front of him did. And that's not going to help there. You see the front end damage to that Ford, and he's going to keep on soldiering on for now here at Martinsville Speedway.
I wonder when these two leaders are going to pit.
I'm curious as well. I'm a little surprised they haven't.
Earlier.
No, I don't think they have, and no, definitely not, because Jesse Carlson is wicked loose. He just got loose coming out of turn 2 that last time by, and he's holding on for dear life. He might be trying to stay out as long as humanly possible to try to get a caution and gain all that track position that he would have, but I'm really not too sure. I don't think he's been to pit road just yet. How far in front of them are you?
Leader is 12 seconds ahead, and Armstrong is 9.4.
Yeah, I don't believe that they've pit yet then, because they were both 1 lap down before all of this. They might be still trying to stretch it as long as they can, and as soon as they hit pit road, you guys will both pass them for position before they even get parked in their pit stall.
They're working on 6 laps to go.
Oh man. And is that what Jesse Carlson was doing this whole time? Was he lifting a whole bunch and conserving and trying to get to the end? Did he think that this was going to go green the whole way? If so, what a masterful strategy, and what a gamble too, because he went a lap down doing this. So if this works out for him, it's going to be his 4th win of the season. He's going to lock himself into the Final Four, even though he technically pointed his way in after Stage 1 was in the history books. And it's going to be a huge win for him and huge momentum heading into Phoenix. 4 laps to go at Martinsville.
Armstrong pit road, I think.
Okay. Scorpion goes to pit road in the 52. Tried to make it to the end of the race. Could not quite do it. He's going to fall short by only about 3 laps here. And we're going to keep our eye on some of the front runners. There's Armstrong running in 2nd, doing everything he can to hold on here. The tires are going to be close for these drivers. Jesse Carlson is the current race leader, and he's trying everything he can to make it to the end for his 4th win of the season. Fans are on their feet. You can hear them here on NASCAR Heat 5. You can hear the fans on the front straightaway cheering. Is that the white flag?
No.
2?
2 to go.
Oh man, 2 laps to go. And the question is, can Jesse Carlson make it to the end on the tires and the fuel that he has? I think Cameron Norton had the strongest long-run truck. I think Land Shark had the strongest short-run truck. But the strategy game went to Jesse Carlson. The white flag has been shown, and if he can make it around for another half a lap, he's going to win the Global 250 at Martinsville. Going into 3 and 4. He's still up to full power. Even if it sputters now, he's going to get there. Oh, he blew a tire coming out of turn 4, and he's against the inside wall. He throws it in. He threw it in reverse and backs across the start-finish line, and he wins the Global 250 at Martinsville.
No, I was just coming out of 4.
I saw Cameron Norton's going to finish in 2nd. Aaron Garcia is going to finish in 3rd. Wow. Front-end damage to the Steel Horse Ford, and he threw it in reverse out of panic to get it across the start-finish line, and he just barely is going to win the Global 250. He advances to the Final Four for the championship next week at Phoenix.
Well, that's a heartbreaker.
Get the photos of the results for me, Shadow. Where did you finish, buddy?
9th.
And Juicy?
7th.
7th?
Yep.
All right, then. So that confirms it. Alex Tesdall is going to advance to the Final Four for a NOSSCAR championship for the first time in his NOSSCAR career. He'll battle for the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series championship next Tuesday. He beats Jeffrey Robinson Jr. by 2 points. 2 points separated those two, the 98 and the 51. And Alex is going to be competing for a championship at Phoenix next Tuesday. We're going to have post-race interviews coming up here in just a matter of minutes, and that includes an interview with your race winner, Jesse Carlson. The fastest lap of the race goes to Land Shark, short run truck, and the long run truck of Cameron Norton, 2nd quickest lap of the race. What a race. What a finish. What a way to end the round of 8. Aggressive driving at the beginning. Everybody kind of toned it down actually towards the end, in the final stage especially. Contact made here and there, 2, 3, 4 wide at Martinsville. Why not? And at the end of it all, it was Jesse Carlson with a master strategy, spinning coming out of turn 4 with a flat tire, hitting the inside wall, throwing it in reverse, and backing across the start-finish line to claim the win. We'll speak to him in just a couple of minutes. okay, that was a wild one. Let's begin the post-race interviews. Actually, let's get a couple more drivers in.
What's up, y'all? Congratulations to the top 4.
And let the party begin, folks. Post-race interviews. And first, let's start with the driver of the number 24 Chevy Silverado, Nick Donfrancesco, regular season champion, 7 wins this season. You advance to the Final Four next week at Phoenix for the championship. And you've advanced to the Final Four before for NOSSCAR championships. You did in 2019 for the Motormaster Series. I just watched it, actually, just the other day. How does it feel to be a part of the championship race next week? And also, walk us through your race here tonight at Martinsville, getting your top 5 finish.
Well, where to begin? First, the race was not how I expected it to go, clearly. Truck was solid. Top 5 speed, but not as near as the leaders, of course. And I expect next week to go as planned, to take home the championship, but we'll see what happens.
Overall, how do you rate your performance in this race? You did a good job. You were up there in the top 5 pretty much all race long. There was a lot of strategies going on in the final stage. What was your strategy coming into this race, and how did you think that you fared out there?
And the strategy was to break up the stages in half. Even in the final stage, I think I did the same thing when that caution came out. And then I think my performance on that racetrack was a solid 7, maybe even 6. But anyway,
You've been running in the NASCAR Elite National Series on iRacing as well. Tell us a little bit about the transition going from the NASCAR Heat 5 game to iRacing and how different it really is.
It's a lot different. I mean, with everything that iRacing has, this game kind of doesn't really have. Like, it's got multiple grooves. You can do anything you want with it. Just about.
Congratulations on your top 5 finish at Martinsville, and best of luck to you in the championship race next Tuesday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And moving forward, the driver of the number 23 Chevy Silverado, parking it in 4th place. We lost you out there, though, for a while, to be honest. Connection issues on my end sometimes put the truck parked on pit road, but really they're still out there on everybody else's screen. So we didn't see your truck out there for some of the laps there in the final stage. But congratulations on your 4th place finish. Really proud of you and that number 23 team. Good speed all race long. Kept the nose clean for the most part. Take us through your race. Tell us how you were able to stay up there in the top 5 and battle for the win here at the end.
I just know from being here in the Xfinity and the Cup Series, I just kept working on my car and working on it, and it got better as I made it for the longer run, so I was able to make it for the longer runs.
I could tell, actually. It kind of looked like the 3 and the 23 were the 2 strongest long-run trucks. Do you agree with that, and do you think that you had anything for the leaders?
Yeah, if there would have been a restart, I probably would have had something.
You're always good here at Martinsville. You did well in the Motormaster Series race at Martinsville just last night, and you backed it up again here with a solid top 5 finish. What is it about Martinsville and the short tracks in general that really brings out the good results and the speed from you?
Just running from Utah, whenever my rookie season, I struggled on the short tracks, and then I just got better as I progressed, or however they say it.
It's been a solid season for you so far. You made the playoffs, 3 wins this season, and a solid run here tonight at Martinsville to continue that strong build of momentum. Congratulations on your 4th place finish.
Ty. Thanks.
And moving forward with the post-race interviews, I don't believe we have Lance Shark in here, so we're going to skip over to Jeffrey Robinson Jr., the driver of the number 51. Great run for you tonight for Juicy J Motorsports, Rockstar Racing, 2 affiliated teams actually, running Toyotas and Motormaster and the trucks, and you had a good run. You did everything you needed to do. You had to come in here and beat Alex Tesdall on points, and you came close. You're only going to miss out on the Final Four by 2 points. But overall, I wanted to ask you about how the race unfolded from behind the wheel of that number 51 Toyota. How fast were you out there today? And sum up your race for us. You're a former NOSSCAR champion on NASCAR 15 and Supercross. In fact, you're the only NOSSCAR driver to win every single race in a season, and that was 15 for 15 in the Supercross. I was there, and that was wild. You made the playoffs for the trucks and the Motormaster here this year for 2021 on Heat 5. Is that a step in the right direction for what you want to do? How do you think your season went overall? And how was it battling with Alex Tesdall in this race at Martinsville? Were you watching where the 98 was? Were you thinking about points? What was going through your mind battling with him and Timmy Brown in the 8 as well? I couldn't agree more. It was a lot of fun to watch. We're sorry that you didn't advance, but we're happy that you're happy with your season, and it was a lot of fun watching you here in 2021. Congratulations on making it to the round of 8, and best of luck to you in the championship race next Phoenix. Maybe you'll steal the show. Who knows? You've won an NOSSCAR race before at Phoenix, I believe, so who knows? It might happen again. And that was Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. And off we go here to the 98 of Alex Tesdall. He was one of our 2 in-race reporters for this race. Brought it home in 9th. And Alex, that's all you needed to do, buddy. It was good enough to advance you to the championship for next week. You've never done that in one of these NOSSCAR series. You've been with us since Heat 3, I believe, or Heat 2, actually, for the Motormaster series. How does it feel to finally get to this stage and go and compete for a championship?
I can't believe it. Like, if you would have asked me a year ago that I'd be running for a championship, I probably would have laughed at you. So, like, it was a hard-fought battle, advanced by, 2 points? So, yeah, it was back and forth with the 51 the entire race, and after ups and downs throughout the season, but we're going to Phoenix with a shot at it.
Similar question for you as that I asked to Jeffrey Robinson Jr. Were you thinking about points a lot? Were you watching where the 51 and the 8 were all race long?
Definitely. Like, I was more worried about the 51 because he was a lot closer. And when he got away from me, like, I was so worried. Like, he was up there in 3rd or something. But I'd like to also throw in I'd like to apologize to Timmy Brown because I wrecked him in the last quarter because I thought I needed that point. But anyway, so overall a great race though.
Well, you heard the apology here in the post-race shows, folks. And speaking of that, let's somebody invite Duking to the chat so I can interview him as well, so I don't need to go to a blue screen. But one last question for you, Alex. How do you feel about your chances heading into Phoenix? I heard you mention that you don't think you're that great at Phoenix. Do you think you got a shot next week?
Well, Phoenix has never been one of my stronger tracks, but I think I'm gonna put in a bunch of practice, and maybe I can find something. Who knows?
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Steel Horse Motorsports is the only truck team to have 2 drivers in the Final Four this year, so good luck to you and Jesse Carlson next week, and great job at the top 10 in Martinsville.
Thank you.
Moving forward, Cameron Norton, let's try that again. Driver of the number 3 Chevy Silverado, parking it in 2nd place at the end of the Global 250 at Martinsville. And honestly, Cameron, I thought that you had the win. I didn't think that they were going to make it all the way on the tires and fuel that they had, and even then, Jesse Carlson almost didn't. Take us through those final laps, battling with Aaron Garcia, trying to get the lead amongst that strategy, and how worried were you about the 88 and the 15?
I mean, I don't know what I can say right now. I'm just kind of, devastated to this point. I mean, we drove our butts off tonight, and tonight was our night, and I just feel like I didn't capitalize hard enough, and we've out-strategized me, I guess. I don't know. I'm just going to have to go back and watch and see what I could have done better.
Great long run speed for you. Honestly, I think that the 3 and the 23 had the advantage, and they had the fastest long run trucks out here tonight. What was it about your truck that made it a long run truck, do you think? Or was it maybe driving style?
No, I just ran my race, honestly. I just wanted to go for a win, and, that's what we went for. That's all.
Overall, sum up your season for us. I know that you're winless, but you've come close to a couple of wins this season, and tonight might have been the closest. You got a few stage wins as well, and a lot of top 5 finishes. Overall, how much fun did you have here in the 2021 truck campaign?
All I know is y'all better watch out, because I'm having a season next year that's going to be contending for a championship, and we're not going to keep losing like this. We're just going to grind and grind and grind over the off season. Make this truck faster and better with all my teammates. We're going to work together. We're going to get all 4 trucks in the championship next year. All in all, our season was great. I just really wanted to win.
Don't blame me. It came so close, so I can understand the disappointment. But congratulations on your 2nd place finish, and best of luck to you next week at Phoenix and next season as well.
Thank you.
And let's move forward here to the 26 of Aaron Garcia. He finally just came into the broadcast booth with us, and it was a fantastic race for you out there. Led a lot of laps in this one, and honestly, I think that the fastest short-run truck was the 26, maybe the 24 as well. Sum up your race for us. Take us through the battle with the 3 truck of Cameron Norton, and how did you know what strategy you were going to go with there in the final stage?
Yeah, the 3 was really hard to stay ahead of. He was catching me real fast. Going through the runs, the truck got more loose, and I just couldn't hold it, and that's how he was catching me. The whole race, I was doing good. I just don't know, I don't know what I could have done better to get up there and strategize and have intention to win. I probably should have the 88 took 2 tires. I should have done it too, but I thought I could catch him, and he was just fast, and I couldn't.
The short run speed was there, though, that's for sure, and you've come close a couple of different times to getting your first ever NOSSCAR win, not only here in the Truck Series, but also the Cup Series and Motormaster Series as well. What types of things do you do to prepare for these races and get ready to go out there and compete for these wins?
Well, I just try to practice at the track that we go to before the race, and just see if I can make a fast lap, and just try and get a fast lap and just run up there with them.
Any plans for Phoenix next week? What are your goals for the championship race?
Well, since I can't, just try to win it. That's all I can do.
Absolutely.
Just try to win it.
Congratulations on your strong run here tonight. You almost had it here tonight at Martinsville. 3rd place finish for you.
Thank you.
And that was Aaron Garcia, driver of the 26. And off to victory lane we go. We still have no Timmy Brown here, so I guess he's declining an interview. And we find Jesse Carlson here in victory lane for Steel Horse Motorsports. 4th win of the season for you. And honestly, we didn't talk too much about you during the broadcast. You had a strong truck, don't get me wrong, but it seemed like you were stuck in traffic for the most part from about 4th maybe to 9th all race long. Suddenly in the final stage, you came to life, and you also had the strategy of the race, the huge strategy call that was able to get you the win. Take us through those last few laps and trying to manage those tires all the way to the checkered flag.
Well, whenever you're saving fuel on the straights and all that, it's very easy to save that right front, because that right front really likes to wear out. And I had to save early in stage, well, after the 2 cautions came out in stage 3, I had to, just like I said, save it, because I knew I was gonna make it, and I did. And it's just great to have. It's great to win at a short track, actually. Like, it's pretty good, but I know I took y'all's battle away, but it just came down to strategy.
Yes, it did, and it was exciting to watch, because the 3 was catching you, and we didn't know how the tires were looking for you, and then all of a sudden, coming out of turn 4 on the last lap, it spun out on you. You threw it in reverse, and you crossed the start-finish line, Talladega Nights style, to pick up the Martinsville win here. Tell us what was going through your mind when the tire popped and the truck spun on you. Did you think you lost it?
Well, no, I actually didn't spin it. I spun it on purpose. Signature burnout. I always like doing that. I know it's a little selfish, but I always like doing that, especially when I have a good lead on second. And yeah, I apologize if that got
You entered this race 32 points above the playoff cut line. How aggressive were you coming into this race at Martinsville, knowing that, you know, you had a good truck and you want to win, but you're also going to be locked into Phoenix and some of these other drivers weren't?
Well, I just told everyone I was just going to race my race and just hang around. And I mean, I did throw some blocking and all that, but with non-playoff drivers, it's a little easier to do that. Well, whenever I got someone like my teammate or someone in front of me or behind me, then yeah, I gotta give way to the playoff drivers. That way they can go.
There's going to be 2 Steel Horse Motorsports Fords in the Final 4 for the championship race next week. You and Alex Tesdall both will be going out there and battling for the championship. Is there going to be any teamwork between the two of you, or are the gloves off since it's for the title?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think we'll talk about it like tomorrow or something. But yeah, we'll see what we can do to nudge out Beam and Napa.
Absolutely. So the Final 4 looks like this: Jesse Carlson, Beam SKP, Nick Donfrancesco, Alex Tesdall. Who do you think is the favorite heading into Phoenix?
I mean, this championship race is going to require a lot of practice and knowing what the truck will do with worn out tires and all that. So yeah, depends on how the last stage goes, and if it goes green, then it comes down to who saved the tires or did whatever the best.
I couldn't agree more. Congratulations on the Global 250 win here tonight at Martinsville, locking yourself in to the Final 4 next week.
Thank you.
Can I have something?
Absolutely.
Jesse, I will be a bit nicer to you than the other two. I'll say that now.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. I just also want to say, Jesse, you put on a great race tonight, and you outsmarted me tonight.
Yeah, I got you.
And that concludes the post-race interviews. All respect, all class around here, and that's phenomenal to hear and see. And congratulations once again to Jesse Carlson and the entire number 88 Steel Horse Motorsports team. And congratulations to all 4 of the drivers who are advancing to the championship race next week at Phoenix. That includes Jesse Carlson in the number 88 machine. That also includes Alex Tesdall in the number 98 machine. It includes the driver of the number 24, Nick Donfrancesco. And you cannot forget the French phenom, full-time driver out of France, Beam SKP, the driver of the 16 Toyota Tundra for Rockstar Racing. 3 different teams, and only one can be champion. One driver can be champion as well. And this concludes the Global 250 here on NASCAR Heat 5. Second to last race in the 2021 NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series season is in the history books. We now have our Final 4. and we will see you next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the NASCAR Series Racing. Join us in finding out who our 2021 champion will be. Good night, everybody. Stay fast.